Coming up next on Live at 6, Onondaga County voters have made their choices. Find out the results from this year's local elections.
And there were a pair of governor's elections around the country as well. Find out if any seats changed hands.
And the general election campaign is underway in the UK. What the two party leaders hope to achieve in December. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Onondaga County officials are saying technical issues from last night's election had no effect on the results. Good evening, I'm McElrath.
And I'm Jenna Bree. The issues also had nothing to do with the new equipment used at polling stations. Onondaga County Election Commissioner Dustin Zarni says the county simply tried to post too much too fast.
Instead of uploading an election district at a time, we were uploading all 429 election districts at once. It's the first time we've ever done it. So it's the first, and it wasn't really able to replicate it before that. But then when it went down, the vendor went to work, and we worked with our county IT department to put up a low-tech solution. We got results going at 10:16, which is about 45 minutes later than we normally do, but not really long after the polls closed.
With that settled, we know Ryan McMahon will keep his job as Onondaga County executive. The Republican picked up 55% of the vote to get past his Democratic challenger, Toni. It will be McMahon's first full term as county executive. He replaced Joni Mahoney after she resigned last year to become the chief operating officer at SUNY ESF.
While that race was disappointing for Democrats, the party has picked up one major county office. Former Syracuse auditor Marty Masterpole claimed victory in the race for county comptroller. He'll be the first Democrat to hold a countywide office since 1991.
And down in the county legislature, Republicans have kept their majority by winning 11 of 17 seats. That's one less than the 12 they currently hold. That one seat loss is important, though. It erases the supermajority that gave Republicans the ability to override vetoes and authorize bond issues by themselves.
Over in the district attorney's office, longtime incumbent William Fitzpatrick will keep the job he's held since 1992. Fitzpatrick won with 53% of the vote. That's a 15% cushion over his closest opponent in a three-way race.
Some other notable results from last night. State Senator Bob Antonacci won a seat on the New York State Supreme Court. He'll vacate his Senate seat in January, and it will likely stay open until the 2020 election. Here in Syracuse, voters have approved an independent restricting commission. It will redraw the Common Council district map after the 2020 census. Speaking of the council, Republican Joe Carney holds on to his seat. He remains the only GOP council member. So, Jenna, the weather has really started to feel like winter this week. I was freezing walking to class this morning.
Yeah, hopefully the rest of the week won't be as cold. Walker, how are things looking?
Well, guys, it does feel like weather stay like that going into the week. As you can see right now, we're sitting at about a high 30, 38, and on the bright side, we have a low of 36, so things shouldn't get much colder this week. Also, if you were on campus today just walking around, you probably could have noticed we finally have some clear skies, so that let in some sunlight and made that 38 feel a little bit warmer. And as you walk to the game tonight, those clear skies will be here to stay. So you won't have to worry about packing an umbrella going to the game tonight, but you will have to worry about dressing warm because it's going to be about 37 degrees, so it will stay cold. And as the sun goes down, you're going to lose that bit of warmth you had today. So it might say 37, it's going to feel about 32. So it definitely will be cold tonight. You're going to want to pack a sweatshirt, maybe some layers as you're heading to this game. Also, as you get back from the game, you might see some cloud coverage coming over, and that is going to result in rain waking up tomorrow morning. We have about a 60% chance of rain at 9 a.m. So waking up, you're going to want to dress dry as well as dress warm. You're going to be fighting both battles here. We got a 42 degrees, so it's going to be cold and wet. You definitely want to layer up and pack an umbrella. And as you can see here, we have a low of 31, so a low below freezing mixed with some rain is going to result in snow tomorrow. But I'll get more into snow and when to expect it in my full weather forecast. As for now, that's all I have for you guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Walker. If you missed today's flu clinic at the Barnes Center at the Arch, there is still time to go. The university still has 4 more flu clinics throughout November at Flanagan Gymnasium. You can get a flu shot and learn more about flu prevention every Tuesday and Wednesday throughout the rest of the month from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Another important vaccine, HPV. The Barnes Center will be holding HPV clinics today and tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. You can receive dose 1, 2, or 3 at the clinic if you bring your SUID. Clinics are by appointment only, so be sure to schedule online with the patient portal.
It's not too late to participate in the Boost the Cuse event. Today is the last day of SU's 44-hour-long event that hopes to gain at least 5,000 new donors for the university. Today's events include a scavenger hunt, a French fry bar, contests, and a thank you writing station. Fundraising for this year's event has already surpassed $1 million. The Marty Glickman Awards are just wrapping up at the Newhouse School. This year's winner is Sandy Montag. He's a talent agent who represents the previous 6 sports broadcasters to win the award. CitrusTV Reporter is live outside the event. Ricky, what did Sandy have to say?
Yeah, he recounted how when he came to SU, he wanted to be just like Marv Albert. Realized pretty quickly that wasn't possible, but he ended up becoming a statistician, working right alongside many great sports broadcasters. And take a look behind me. Clearly, there you have Mike Tirico, you have Sean McDonough. He's waving to us right now. And you know what? Clearly, Montag knew what makes a good sports broadcaster. And we asked him what advice he would give to some aspiring sports broadcasters that we have here at SU today.
The advice that my story is work hard, think out of the box, be creative, and make something happen.
Speakers here tonight talked about how Montag negotiated unlike the stereotypical agent. He was nice, he was your friend, and he got the job done, and he did it well. Last year's winner, Ian Eagle, had the honor of presenting Montag with the award.
There's a word, representation, that we take very lightly. He represents his client's best interests, and that to me means everything. He wants what's best for them. It's not a business transaction, it's a friendship, and it's a real relationship. And I think it's a nice reminder of how it's supposed to be.
We also heard via recorded message from Montag's first ever person he represented. That was John Madden. Madden said via that recorded message that he never considered Montag to be his agent. He considered him to be his best friend. Reporting in the Hurg, Ricky Sayer, Citrus TV News.
Thanks, Ricky. The Claytown Board is voting tonight on a $350 million distribution center. Some believe the center will be for Amazon. It could bring 1,000 jobs. On the agenda for tonight's meeting, a zone change to allow the construction of the 3.8 million square foot facility. If the zone change is approved, the project will go to the Clay Planning Board. The construction company wants to finish building it by the fall of 2021. And the murder retrial for Dr. Robert Newlander is going to start in an unusual way. Newlander will begin his trial process over the phone. Prosecutors originally said it would be in court. The call will be between Newlander and Judge Thomas Miller on Friday morning at 9. This retrial comes after the New York Court of Appeals ruled that Newlander deserved a second trial. Prosecutors are accusing the DeWitt native of killing his wife back in 2012.
Central New Yorkers will have more slots to play in the near future. The Oneida Indian Nation announced their plans to build a multi-million-dollar lake house in Sylvan Beach, about 40 minutes from Syracuse University. According to a statement, the new venue will have 100 slot machines, indoor and outdoor dining areas, and will employ 60 people. The Oneidas have the exclusive right to gambling in the 10 counties surrounding the nation's Turning Stone Casino and Resort. And one favorite Mexican food chain will be opening up a new eatery just minutes away. Tomorrow will be the grand opening of the new Chipotle Mexican Grill in Cicero on Brewerton Road. Although there are several other Chipotles in the Syracuse area, this new location will be the very first in New York to feature a Chipotlane drive-thru. The first 50 customers at the grand opening will receive free Chipotle gear, so make sure to stop by.
Coming up, voters in Kentucky and Mississippi chose new governors yesterday. The results ahead.
And news regarding testimony in Washington today. More on that when we come back.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ooh.
Your girls have been with you through every moment of your life. They were with you when you felt unbreakable. With you that time you felt most alone. And with you when you realized you would never be. They were with you when you shared your love with the world. And with you when she became your world. Your girls have never left you. They're still with you right now. But how well do you know them? You don't know. Knowing your breasts can save your life.
You're watching CitrusTV News with Amber McElrath, Jenna, Bree, Nicole Weaving, and Ricky Sayer. CitrusTV News, your campus news leader.
Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin appeared to lose to his Democratic challenger after last night's election, but he's not going down without a fight. Andy Beshear is the current Attorney General of the state and appears to have defeated the incumbent Bevin.
Governor Bevin lost by about 5,000 votes, but is calling for a recanvass. He will have to pay for it.
Bevin is a strong supporter of President Trump. The president even visited Kentucky to campaign for him on Monday night.
Meanwhile, the Republicans will keep the governor's office in Mississippi. Tate Reeves replaces term-limited Governor Phil Bryant in that state.
Reeves won the office by close to 50,000 votes. Democratic challenger Jim Hood managed 46% of the vote, proving not to be enough against Reeves's 52%.
Reeves is the current lieutenant governor of the state and will make the jump to governor after last night's win.
The latest in the impeachment inquiry, House investigators released the transcript of key witness Bill Taylor. Taylor's testimony to lawmakers on October 22nd seemed to provide the most compelling evidence yet of an alleged quid pro quo.
During his testimony, Taylor told lawmakers U.S. aid to Ukraine had been explicitly tied to Ukraine's willingness to investigate Democrats. Taylor is one of 3 officials scheduled to testify in public hearings next week.
In other impeachment news, 4 witnesses were scheduled to testify before House committees today, but State Department official David Hale was the only one to show. Energy Secretary Rick Perry, Acting Office of Management and Budget Director Russ Vogt, and State Department Counselor Ulrich Breckbull were all also scheduled to testify, but refused to do so.
The 3 officials now join a string of witnesses in the inquiry who have refused to comply with House subpoenas.
According to CNN, Defense Secretary Mark Esper will advise President Trump to not dismiss or change the sentences of service members facing war crime allegations.
The president ordered additional review of charges against Army Lieutenant Clint Lawrence and Army Green Beret Major Matt Goldstein.
The Pentagon became aware of the plans after a story from Fox and Friends that said the president would be making an announcement about the men before Veterans Day. 9 U.S. citizens, including 6 young children, are dead after a suspected cartel attack at the U.S.-Mexico border. A 13-year-old boy who survived the shooting walked for nearly 6 hours to get help from U.S. authorities.
Mexican authorities have detained the suspect. The man was holding 2 hostages and had multiple high-caliber weapons when police arrested him.
Today marks the first day of the British Conservative Party's election campaign. The 5-week campaign will decide how Conservatives will handle the issue of Brexit.
The Conservatives say the holdup on Brexit negotiations is Parliament stopping the will of the people. 3 years after the referendum.
All 650 seats in the House of Commons are in play in an election that comes more than 2 years early.
The latest on the Paris Climate Agreement. Chinese President Xi Jinping and French President Emmanuel Macron signed a pact to recommit to the accord.
The agreement aims to lower greenhouse gas emissions and deal with the finances surrounding climate change policy. Presidents Xi and Macron released a statement today laying out their joint plan. The main goal is to eliminate marine waste, mainly the plastics in the ocean.
This announcement comes just days after President Donald Trump officially began the process of withdrawing the U.S. from the agreement.
And in Europe, Italy is now the first country to require students to learn about climate change.
The goal is to make Italy a world leader in environmental education.
Students will learn about sustainability in geography, math, and physics classes.
And cold temperatures are not going anywhere. Stay tuned for my full weather forecast to get a better idea of how the weather heading into this weekend will look and exactly when to expect snow tomorrow.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Gear up, guys.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader. From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
All right, so a big talk about this week has been snow. When are we going to expect it? When's it coming in? And tomorrow, you will see snow. However, like I mentioned, starting off the day, you're not really going to see snow. It's going to start as rain. So as you can see here, throughout the day, it'll start at about 65% rain with a 42 degrees. And going up until 1 p.m., that's where you're going to see the majority of the rain. So your first half of the day, it'll see rain. But throughout the day, temperatures are going to decrease. We even get into 33 degrees here, so it's going to go down. It's going to get cold, and 35 degrees is just enough to turn that rain into snow. And that's where it's going to plateau. So we see about 85% chance of precipitation, and that will be snow. So throughout the second half of your day, that rain will switch to snow, and be prepared. Lace up your winter boots because it's definitely coming, and it will be here Thursday. Now, because of that, I had to put the activity outlook on a low for tomorrow. We have a lot of rain, a lot of snow mixed with some lower temperatures. So we see between high 40s, low 40s, high 30s. Temperatures don't look that nice. It's not going to be a great day to be outside, so the only time you're going to want to be out on campus is when you're walking in between classes. However, all of our neighbors are experiencing this as well. Looking across the board here, we see the high 30s. Seems to be a general thing. But that's all I have for you. We'll get into the full week forecast later. Toni, how are things looking in sports?
All right, thanks, Walker. Coming up in sports, basketball season is officially back in Syracuse. On the other side of the break, I'll have all the highlights from the women's season opener last night and a full preview of the men's matchup tonight against the defending national champions.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where the cats go on vacation? New York. This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
With the loss of star point guard Tiana Mangakahia on the court this season, Syracuse women's basketball had a lot to prove in its season opener. Good evening, I'm Toni Bianco with sports. The Orange scheduled a tough non-conference slate starting from the very first game. SU welcomed Ohio to the Dome last night, one of only 8 D1 teams to collect 30-plus wins last year. The Bobcats are the favorite to win the Mid-American Conference this season. And they jumped out to an early lead thanks to plays like this from Cece Hooks, taking it coast to coast on a steal. Bobcats outscoring the Orange 20-10 in the first quarter. And then to Leah Washington, she put a 3-point buzzer beater to end the half. And the Orange would be up by 1 heading into the locker rooms. And Kiara Lewis absolutely showed out in this game. She led the team with 16 points. She finds the hole and she just takes it to the rack. The Orange would come out on top 66-54.
In the first half, they were packing the paint a little more, so that kind of opened up shots for my teammates on the perimeter. And when they started knocking them down, I mean, they had to close out on them, so that gave me an open lane. So like I said, part of it is my teammates. They made shots, so that opened up driving lanes for me.
After a tough loss to Boston College in the regular season finale, Syracuse men's soccer entered the ACC tournament as the 10 seed, which meant they'd face off against number 7 North Carolina in the first round. Team they upset earlier this season, but this one wouldn't be decided in regulation. Down in Chapel Hill, Christian Miesch kept the game tied at 0 when he made a save from close range in the 92nd minute, sending this one into a shootout. Massimo Ferrin, Ryan Raposo, Severin Sorley, and Sondre Norheim all converted on their PK chances to give the Orange a 4-3 advantage. And then Matt Orr a chance to clinch it for the Orange, and he did just that. His shot found the back of the net, secured the victory for Syracuse. Miesch recorded 3 saves and posted his 3rd shutout of the year. He also had a huge save on the Tar Heels' first PK attempt to give the Orange the early lead. Syracuse advances to the quarterfinals to face the number 2 seed and 4th-ranked Virginia in Charlottesville on Sunday. And back on the hardwood, SU men's basketball team gears up to host the defending national champs Virginia tonight in the Dome. The Cavaliers ranked 9th in the AP preseason polls. UVA has to replace 6 key players from its championship roster, including Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome. Mamadi Diakite will be the Cavs' top returner. He averaged just over 7 points and 4 rebounds a game last season. The redshirt senior has been named to 3 Player of the Year watch lists. And for the Orange, Elijah Hughes has looked good through SU's 2 exhibition games. Hughes was 8 for 11 from the field, including 5 of 7 from 3-point range against Damon, and put up 15 points in a double-double performance versus Carleton. Tip-off tonight is set for 9 p.m. Volleyball is also in action tonight. After 2 ACC wins at home this weekend, the women are down in Chestnut Hill for their first matchup against Boston College this season. Sophomore sensation Paulina Shimonova led the way over the weekend, setting a school record 36 kills against Louisville. BC and SU tied up at 1 apiece in the third set right now. Syracuse lost the first set 25-19 and took the second 25-17, ending it with an ace from Shimonova.
Thank you so much, Toni. And coming up, another look at your weather. Don't go away.
Maybe he's really focused.
Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo.
So, Walker, I haven't broken out my winter coat yet. Do you think I'm going to have to do it tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow might be the start. Yeah, you waking up, it's going to be rainy, so you might going to get a mix between your winter coat and an umbrella. However, as you go throughout the day, you're going to see snow, and you're definitely going to want to have your winter coat on.
All right, but am I going to need that winter coat for the rest of the week? Is it going to be snowing more?
Yeah, sadly, this is not just a phase. We got snow throughout the week. It's put on hold for the weekend, which is always nice. But as you can see, temperatures are dipping even into the 20s on Friday and Monday, excuse me. So things are definitely getting cold, and this looks like the start of winter.
All right, thanks so much, Walker.
And spiked seltzer has been the largest beverage trend since diet soda. And Anheuser-Busch is making sure they don't miss the wave. That the brewing giant will be throwing a new carbonated competitor into the ring named Bud Light Seltzer, an effort to compete with seltzer superiors, White Claw and Truly.
Each 12-ounce slim can will have 100 calories, 2 carbs, and 5% alcohol by volume. Bud Light seltzers will be available in 5 flavors and will hit shelves in the first quarter of 2020. Now, Amber, I am 21. Theoretically, I could purchase these. However, I am in absolutely no rush to the shelves. I don't think I will be consuming this beverage.
I do not turn 21 until June, so these come out before I turn 21, so I don't know.
You could be sipping on them by summer, but I mean, would you really want to try a seltzer consumed by a company that normally creates beer? I just think its crossover isn't destined to happen.
I mean, Natty Light also produced seltzers, correct?
Yes, this is true. Here, the thing is, I don't think those are quite as popular because they don't have the slim can, whereas the White Claws and the Trulies have the slimmer can. You know, it convinces you that it's a slimmer drink.
It does seem like beer companies are trying to get on this wave, though, trying to produce seltzers.
Yeah, they really are. It's definitely a craze. It's definitely extremely popular. So it'll be interesting to see when this dies down and everyone can calm down about this. And that's all the time we have for you on Citrus TV. So make sure to follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News and like us on Facebook. And for more content, head over to citrustv.com. I'm Jenna Bree.
And I'm Amber McElrath. Have a great night, Syracuse.